Sir, hello. You haven't got a name badge. You are so important. You haven't got a name badge.
Took it off me.
No, don't worry. Introduce yourself.
Glyn Johnson, the MD of YPS.
And YPS do what, please, sir?
Shrink wrapping equipment, shrink wrapping materials, spares and service, backup and support, that type of thing. Machines and materials.
This is an impressive looking bit of kit. Please talk me through it. And remember, I'm not in your industry, so explain to me how this works.
Well, this is a sighting. So if you look here, this wraps boxes, loads of different applications. It puts a very thin presentation film around the box, shrinks it nice and tight. So this is for presentation, so boxes of chocolates, food, lots of food products, and out comes shrink. So that's how we do it. And it's quite a fast machine. That's not running anywhere near the speed that it can do.
Am I looking at cutting edge here?
Absolutely, absolutely. Side seal, so it does unlimited length. It's just very flexible and can cope with so many different products, but there's so many different applications. Food is a big one, but non-food, all sorts.
When you say lots of different applications, what does that mean? That like anything can pass through it? It can be adapted?
Yeah, pretty much. As long as it can go on that conveyor belt and go through, it will be wrapped in plastic. So a pizza, it could wrap a pizza. They tend to use faster machines. That could be a box of chocolates. So display, you go in the supermarket, your cornflakes, they're shrink wrapped. Kellogg's cornflakes, Weetabix, all those types of things. So that's for display for the shelf. So we supply a lot of the film as well, which is very environmentally friendly.
Well, that's where I was going with this. This is where, please step back in here. This is where I was going with this. Traditionally, you've been in the business a while?
It's our family business, so 30 odd years.
Right.
Yep.
So you've seen some changes. This desire to be greener, is it having a big impact on business?
It's not having a huge impact per se, but you can't ignore the trend. So there is a plastic tax, so you can have recycled content and avoid the plastic tax. We have machines that will run paper and plastic, but you've got to consider the cost of paper versus the cost of plastic. And when you start to bring in the carbon footprint argument, paper isn't the saint it's made out to be. So we have both, but we still sell more plastic because plastic is highly recyclable. It does get bad press. It is a very versatile product. It's just that we don't recycle enough of it. It's totally recyclable. That's the problem.
Do you know what? We don't hear all of the debate on this, do we? So talk me through that again, because what you said made complete sense. Plastic in itself is not the issue.
No, it's what we do with it. It's what we do with it. And there's so many applications where you can't change from plastic. Pizza being a typical example. How else are you going to wrap a pizza? Fresh pizza, thousands of them to the store. So yeah, it's recyclable. We use recycled content. We have machines that run paper as well, which we'll come to in a little while, paper or plastic. When we give customers the choice, we still supply predominantly plastic because the advantages stack up in terms of cost, recyclability and carbon footprint. It does get a bad rap.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and I'm really glad we discussed it. I'm intrigued by the paper machine. Can we go over and have a look?
We can, yep. So I've got a colleague who will show you how it works. So
I don't necessarily need to know how it works, right? What I'd like to know is who uses machinery like that as opposed to machinery like...
Well, this is predominantly for e-commerce. So if you buy something online from, say, Dunelm or JD or whatever, those sort of retailers, it comes in a bag. So typically they'd use that, it creates a bag. It's a very fast way of putting irregular shaped products into a bag, labelling it with an address label and get it out quick. We have the same machine in effect that will run paper or plastic. So we offer the choice. We still sell more plastic than paper because when it comes down to it, the cost of paper is 2-3 times the price, the carbon footprint. So there's a lot of greenwashing going on. And plastic, I come back to it, gets a bad rap. Excuse the pun, but it does, it really does.
As bad a rap as, say, M&M?
Oh, totally. Much worse than that.
You actually have something to say on this, and you really do care about this, don't you? This is a big issue for you.
Well, it's our family business, and 75% of what we supply is the consumables. So it's really important. So we tick every box we can. Everything is recyclable, it's recycled content, we can avoid the plastic tax. We do everything we can But when you hear plastic is bad, well, in some cases it might be, you can get rid of it. But when you go around a supermarket and you look at how much plastic is in that supermarket, just ask yourself, how else are you going to buy it? How else are you going to get it from store to consumer? Plastic has a place. What we need to do is improve the recyclability and the recycle points, because it is entirely recyclable. You know, we just don't do it.
I'm just going to say back to you what you've said to me, because I think it's important, and I just want to make sure I've understood. Plastic, there is lots of negativity about plastic, which is understandable when you look at the Indian Ocean. What you're saying to me, and I find this completely believable, plastic isn't harmful if we recycle it properly. And we just have to find better ways of recycling. Is that right?
In a nutshell, yeah. We take waste product back from some of our customers and try and implement the circular economy as much as we can. Absolutely. It's such a recyclable product. And when you do look at the carbon footprint, the amount of energy you need for paper, people don't forget that. It's just because it degrades in 3 weeks and it takes plastic a lot longer. Don't leave it to degrade. Get it into a recycling scheme.
This wasn't a conversation I expected, but I'm really pleased I had it with you. One other issue that seems to be coming up here today, the importance of young people going into engineering.
We take apprentices on across our business, not just engineering, and it's the best thing we've ever done. It's one of the reasons this business has grown rapidly in the last, we've tripled in the last 7 or 8 years. Literally tripled in size in the last 7 or 8 years. And the reason for that, there's lots of reasons, but one of the reasons we take on young people. We have trainee salespeople, we have apprentice engineers. I love taking on apprentices. You get a blank sheet of paper, and I love seeing people develop in our business where we can offer a career, not a job. And that's one of the reasons we grow. And the other reason we grow is if we weren't growing, we wouldn't keep the talent we've got. You get young people who are ambitious and you give them the tools, it's win-win, everybody wins. And that's what we find. So I am always looking for apprentices, not just in engineering.
I'm going to say something personal here, forgive me. You are an incredibly passionate man.
It's my business, it's our business. I run it with my sister, my dad started it. We are passionate, very enthusiastic. Yeah, it's our business.
Is there anything that I should have touched upon that I haven't? Is there anything that you want to say that we haven't discussed?
I think if you're talking about machinery, which it is a machinery show, the one thing I would say is, and a lot of people overlook this, they look at the specification of the machine, they look at the price of a machine. What they tend to forget is the backup and support. You wouldn't buy a car from a dealer who couldn't service it. And that's something you should really look at. And again, that's something we put so much effort into. We have more service engineers covering the country because it's our reputation at stake. We have twice as many service engineers as we do salespeople on machinery, and that ratio will never change. So the backup and support is something that's often overlooked because everybody expects it to be good, and it varies massively in the industry.
Can I tell you what impresses me about your business here and your stand? You've got some quality chocolate snacks. You've picked heroes. You've got mini double-deckers there.
Hey, we've got champagne in the back.
This is a quality gentleman and a quality company. Heroes as snacks.